you can tell, not much of a wait. But there's just basically the lines on the floor, just for the social distance markers. And then so far we haven't seen any plexiglass. It's just been that, and then just walking around kind of normal standby line. Just as we were talking about plexiglass, right here on this little wraparound, they have a little plexiglass barrier. Bottom one right about here. We have the left hand, the other side is all blocked off, and we are ready to go. Alright, so one little cool thing, in between the little standby on Expedition Everest, they have a little plexiglass, so there's not going to be a group behind you. There might be a group 2 behind you, but this is a kind of cool little addition as well. All right, so thanks so much for watching. As you can tell, we were at Animal Kingdom. It wasn't this past week, it was the week before. We had gone on Expedition Everest. We were able to capture this POV. Second time doing it. So it was our second time doing it. The first time I had lost the mic.
We lost the mic cover. So the mic cover that we currently have on this one
does not have a cover.
A mic cover.
And that is the first time it's ever happened. We've recorded Expedition Everest before.
We've lasted a year before we lost it.
We've done some other fast-paced rides too. Slinky Dog Dash we did without any issues, and it just hit it the wrong way. The wind was the wrong way, and it just knocked the cover right off. And then in the first
the microphone
we had a first video. The microphone almost lost it too, but it's connected into my phone, so luckily that stayed on for dear life.
It was pretty interesting.
It was interesting. So we had to scrap that one. We went on for a second time. We crossed our fingers and hoped that nothing fell off, and luckily we were able to record this the second time.
I was terrified.
So really fun. You still go through the standby line just for the kind of updates with the COVID kind of safety precautions.
You actually go through both.
And
you go through, they have you start in the Fast Pass.
Yes.
And then they have you go up out of the entrance to the Fast Pass and then back
wrap
down
around to go
into
towards
the
standby. And then you join the standby line. So yes, that's correct. And then you also just still have social distancing kind of markers on the floor. Yeah. So all the same stuff.
They are hard to find.
Yes, in some areas. And some of them we've noticed
they're behind a corner.
Some of them are getting kicked up as well. So that's something that they hopefully are replacing, because there are some that we notice very often getting kicked up, which is surprising because most of them haven't been down for that long.
Most of them have been in the sun.
Yes, that's also part of it. Just whatever kind of they have.
Yeah, probably the heat.
Keeping them, probably some sort of glue or some sort of sticky substance. Keeping them is probably just wearing off. But
Everest was fun.
Just as fun. So they skip a couple rows. The one thing you do notice is there's plexiglass in between the waiting areas, which is nice as well. So that's something that's cool to have, and that I thought was a good idea.
Yeah.
And then there's about one row, or I'd say
row in between every
party. So in front and behind you. So good kind of social distancing there. Was just as fun as when we've gone before, and unfortunately Yeti's still not moving, but maybe one day.
I thought he was.
No, it's just flashing lights.
Was I just losing it?
Yeah, you were just losing it. He still doesn't move. Originally he had moved, for those that are aware. I had never rode it when the Yeti actually moved.
I don't know why, but almost every time I think he moves.
That's because they use the stroke effect.
I think that's just also because I used to go on it however many years old I was. Mm-hmm. That and Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah, no, they actually just use the strobe light. They haven't been able to fix that because there was a problem with the structural component by trying to fix the Yeti, so they had to do a short-term improvement or fix to it.
I think they also had issues with people trying to hit it.
Probably if it reached down. I don't know how far it used to reach down.
They did.
But, I mean, still a great ride. Definitely no changes on my part. Everything seemed to be working pretty seamlessly. It
was fun.
And there was a lot less elastic bands in here, though, because I know last time when we had full capacity, there were a ton of them. This time there were much less, so that was one thing that I did notice that was different. But aside from that, we have a lot more great rides from all the parks coming up. We have a lot more kind of great videos for other things we did around the parks as well, so stay tuned for those. Any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. We're also taking suggestions for places to eat, because we had a list.
We're starting that list.
A lot of those are now closed still, so we're trying to get an idea of what everybody wants to see for places to go. We have a list from before, but we just want to try to see what's more popular. So if you are somebody that likes to follow those videos, definitely leave a comment below of one of the places that you'd like to see us check out for. Restaurants, either quick service, doesn't have to be quick service, can be a sit down somewhere in the park, somewhere in the resorts, somewhere near Disney property, and we'll definitely plan on checking it out. So as always, I'm Alex.
I'm Ashley.
And this is Disney's Party of Two.